Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. I ruined the wasteland. Salted fish enter the wasteland, obtain the salted fish system, and embark on the path of being able to lie down without sitting, and being able to sit without sitting. Practice. Cultivation does not exist, it will never exist in this lifetime. You can break through by eating, drinking, and drinking water. What kind of cultivation is it upon entering the wilderness? Liao hugged the sacred Nu's thigh tightly. He thought he could continue playing so happily, but he never expected that before he knew it, he had become the biggest boss of the wilderness. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Taking a breath is getting stronger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A mysterious aura suddenly flashed along a vast ocean shore that was as vast as heaven and earth, and a young man wearing casual clothes suddenly appeared and fell to the beach out of thin air. The young man's eyes showed a hint of confusion and gradually regained consciousness. Looking at the surrounding environment, the young man looked bewildered and his face was filled with astonishment. Didn't he just walk on the road? Why did he appear here the next second? What is this place? The young man's face was stunned, especially when he saw the magnificent sea, which shocked him even more. Is there such a stunning sea on earth? So majestic and grand, I'm out of words. Compared to this sea, the whole earth seems to be nothing anymore. Is that so? Have I traveled? The young man exclaimed loudly. What is this traversal routine? Can you walk through it? The young man was completely stunned. The young man's name is Liao, and he comes from a blue planet. He is a great young man of the 21st century. Although his parents died early, he left a great legacy, abbreviated as the man with a mine in his family. Because he has a lot of money, Liao spends his days just waiting to die. As for work, it doesn't exist in his lifetime. It's great to play games and read novels every day. What kind of work is it? Just now, Liao felt a bit excited after reading the latest chapter of a flood and wilderness novel, so he planned to go out for a walk to breathe fresh air. However, as he walked, it was only his meowing journey. Liao's mood is in turmoil. So, where am I? Liaonan said to himself. He has some tricks. He doesn't want to travel through what others want him to do. He doesn't have endless money to travel through. Liao doesn't need to reach the peak of his life anymore, but now he's doing well. He meows and lets him travel through. What if he travels through some terrifying world? Isn't he cool now? Hiss. Thinking about it, Liao couldn't help but take a deep breath. This Nima is really painful. Suddenly, Liao's expression froze. Why did he feel warm in his stomach just now when he inhaled? In this world, air can fill the stomach. Amazing. So, Liao took a few more sips in succession. Mad, he hasn't eaten yet after crossing over, just enough to fill his stomach. Suck and suck. Suck and suck. 5 seconds later. Boom. An invisible roar sounded from inside Liao's body. In an instant, a large amount of black impurities were removed from the surface of Liao's body. The white casual clothes were immediately dyed pitch black, and a strong odor emanated from Liao's body. What? Liao. Mom sold batches, he just took a few breaths, what's the situation? With a bewildered expression on his face, Liao raised his hand in disbelief, exerted his left hand hard, and swung a punch. In an instant, a roar immediately sounded from the void. What? Can even taking a breath make it stronger? Feeling that his body, which had been slightly weakened due to the abandonment of the house, was now full of strength, Liao was stunned. Can there still be such an operation? Puzzled face, be good. Licking his lips, Liao decisively took another wild breath. This is getting stronger. He can still make his meowing stronger by inhaling. Hurry up and take a few more breaths. Half an hour later, Liao, who was naked on his upper body, cleaned up all the impurities on his body and walked up from the shallow beach step by step. Under the sunlight, Liao's 8 streamlined abdominal muscles were full of beauty. No matter who looked at them, they seemed to feel the terrifying power contained in these muscles. Liao, who was originally only slightly delicate, was now incredibly handsome, and his skin was as crystal clear as a delicate jade. And this is the result of Liao inhaling air for half an hour. Through this half hour, Liao has concluded that the air in this world not only becomes stronger when inhaled, but also looks so beautiful. It's a suffocating operation, a paradise for men and a paradise for women. My current strength. Liao clenched his fist. With a straight expression on his face, Liao took a step forward and a dull sound rang out. Cracks appeared where Liao had stepped on, and when he punched, the surrounding air flowed back and made a whimpering sound. When all his fists were swung out, a huge roar immediately sounded, and a violent force surged out, causing the surrounding sand and dust to rise into the sky. I'm invincible. Seeing his own strength, Liao couldn't help but burst out laughing. There is still such a good thing about time travel. Taking a few breaths can make him stronger. Liao only feels refreshed, and those protagonists in novels who still have to practice hard after time travel are really low. Practice. Oh, he can become stronger by inhaling, so I'm asking if you're afraid or not. At this moment, Liao only felt energetic and in a good mood. There was nothing that couldn't be solved. If there was, it was definitely because he didn't breathe enough. Boom. Suddenly, a loud noise came from the 9 heavens. In an instant, a purple light of 10,000 zhang filled the sky, shining brilliantly on the earth. The brilliant radiance was like immortal light, like the colorful glow of the sky, dazzling and dazzling. Chapter 2. Nuwa. Wilderness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz, buzz. A girl dressed in a stunning blue court attire, so breathtaking that she walked step by step down from the void. Without taking a step, a lotus petal would condense in the sky. Looking around, the girl was like a lotus petal accompanying her, wearing BGM on every appearance. The girl's face was cold and her expression was indifferent, but every word and action seemed to coincide with heaven and earth. Every action seemed to make heaven and earth change. Liao swore that those goddesses and beauties on earth could not even compare to 1 in 10,000 in front of this girl. Wait. Seeing the way the girl appeared, Liao's face froze. Fly down. Liao swore that even if he felt very strong now, he couldn't fly at all. Also, did you even come out with special effects? Hiss. Liao took a deep breath. Liao's mouth twitched. Invincible. It doesn't exist. What kind of ghost world is this? Why does a girl look so strong? Mad, what kind of terrifying world has he come into? Is it still possible to go back now? Oh, low-level life forms. When will there be low-level life forms in the wilderness? At this moment, the girls seemed to have discovered Liao. Liao only felt a flower in front of her, and then the girl appeared in front of Liao, looking curiously at him. The girl's voice was clear and clear, like the most beautiful song in the world, making people involuntarily addicted to it. Of course, Liao at this time would not have this idea. When the girl said that Liao's body was immediately stiff and his face froze. What did he hear? Honghuang. The world of the wilderness. Liao almost turned black in front of him. It's over, I won't be so unlucky, right? Liao swallowed his saliva and said with a trembling voice, "May I ask the fairy sister, where is this? This place? Also. And, is this world a flood? A wasteland world? Fairy sister. Cluck, this title has some meaning. This is the shore of the East China Sea, and this world is called the world of the flood and wilderness, while this palace is called Innate. Upon hearing Li Ao's address, the girl smiled and answered with great interest. Does this little guy in front of me seem interesting? Is it really a wasteland? Also, is this Innate? He meowing. Li Ao was stunned. Looking at the girl in front of him, Li Ao's mood was a bit chaotic. Is Innate a girl? It seems that the Innate in the novel, No Wilderness, is a young girl, and her meowing is not scientific. The novels are indeed deceptive. Wait, this doesn't seem to be the point is that this is a wasteland world. Wilderness. That golden immortal is not as good as a dog, the great Luo golden immortal walks on the vast land. Li Ao felt like crying without tears, almost trembling. He came here as an ordinary person, afraid that he wouldn't die and wouldn't even have any residue left. No, I still have a chance. Thinking of the girl in front of him, Li Ao's spirit shook. Innate is a saint, supreme in the wilderness. If she held Innua's thigh, wouldn't she be able to walk horizontally in the wilderness? Sigh, it seems like there's another chance to eat and die. The shore of the East China Sea. Is it? In order to hold on to Innua's thigh, Li Ao swore that he had used the most brain cells in his life. With a flash of brilliance in his eyes, Li Ao felt as if he had guessed something. Fairy sister, may I ask if you haven't become a saint yet? Li Ao asked cautiously. Innate nodded slightly. Are you currently looking for an opportunity to testify, or is it that you, Sister Fairy, have some spiritual light that you just can't grasp? Li Ao licked his lips and continued. Hey, little one, how do you know? Innate frowned slightly. She originally thought this little guy was very interesting, but now it seems that this little guy is related to her own testimony. Innua's eyes lit up. Otherwise, how can we explain how a mere low-level life form is related to her testimony? I don't know why, but I vaguely realized this and even thought you were very kind, fairy sister. Li Ao pretended to be confused and said. He can't claim to have traveled through time and read the novels of the wilderness. Now is the best time to hug your thighs, will Li Ao let it go? Of course not. Fairy sister, have you thought about many ways of preaching, but in the end, they all failed. Li Ao pursued the road with victory. Not bad, the way of cultivation in this palace is life. Over the years, this palace has created many types of life, but none of them have anything to do with preaching. So I came to walk in the wilderness to see if I could find an opportunity to preach. Innate, who believed that Li Ao was related to her own preaching, did not conceal it. When she heard Li Ao inquire about Innate, she directly spoke up. Fairy sister, what do you think of me? Li Ao felt lost in thought and then pointed to himself. You. Innua's expression froze for a moment. What does this mean? Wait. Innate raised her eyebrows. Lower-level life forms low-level, I understand now, preach. Her eyes became increasingly bright, and she felt the purple energy in her mind beating violently. Innua's face turned red and dizzy. The opportunity for her to preach has arrived. Innate was already many times more beautiful than those goddesses in her past life, and now her face is still flushed, which is so tempting. Even though she knew she was the goddess Innate in front of her, Li Ao couldn't help but take a second look. Chapter 3. I help Innate create people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When do you want to see it? Innate gave Li Ao a look of anger. Due to her good mood and the fact that Li Ao had helped her a lot, Innate was not angry either. Otherwise, if anyone dared to be so reckless with her in daily life, Innate would definitely teach him how to be a primitive creature, and not underestimate the stinginess of women. Hee hee, hee hee. Liao scratched his head and said with a dry smile. Alright, this palace is going to preach. I'll talk to you later, little one. With a straight expression on her face, Enua flipped her palm and a piece of soil and a drop of water appeared in the void. After thinking for a moment, Enua reached out a little and hydrated countless things, directly transforming into the boundless Wang Yang on the sky. Enua grabbed the soil and mixed the water in while pinching it. Soon, a lifelike human appeared in place, but this human had no life breath, like a dead object. Fairy sister, you can drop your own blood and give it a try. Seeing Enua frown, Liao whispered a reminder from the side. Blood. Enua suddenly realized. Thank you very much, little one. Enua playfully blinked at Liao, who was almost numb from the electric shock. He felt that holding his thighs seemed like he could take it a little further. Well, we need Su Shimo. Little one, let me borrow your blood. At this moment, Enua's eyes turned and she reached out to grab it. A drop of blood shot out from Li Xiu's body and suspended in front of Enua. Enua touched it a little, and a brilliant golden drop of blood appeared at Enua's fingertips. Enua mixed the two drops of blood together and directly threw them into the newly created human. A stream of light flashed by, and the human, who was originally just a dead object, immediately came to life. A lively expression appeared in his eyes, as if he knew he couldn't disturb Enua now. Therefore, the human did not speak, but bowed respectfully to Enua and Liao before standing still. Liao touched his nose. Originally, in the wilderness, the human race was created by Enua, but now his blood has also been mixed in, and he himself has also been involved. Sigh, it should be okay, right? Boom boom boom. With the appearance of the first human being, in an instant, the flood shook, and huge sounds echoed from above the vast expanse of the flood. A rich golden light converged, and a strong and solemn sea of golden clouds converged over the shore of the East China Sea. The majestic and magnificent atmosphere instantly attracted the attention of countless great powers in the flood. Is Sister Enua going to preach now? The face of the Tai Shang Laozi on Kunlun Mountain is a bit unsightly. He is the senior brother of the Xianmen sect, but instead of proving himself, did he let the junior sister prove first? Mad, be angry. The face of Yuanchi Tianzuan beside him was a bit pale. He was already good at face saving, but now someone has taken the lead in preaching. You can imagine what kind of mood Yuanchi Tianzuan was in. Only the leader of Tongtian's sect was slightly better, and he was also happy for his junior sister Enua's preaching. Junior brother, we need to work hard now. In the wilderness of the west, on the Lingshan mountain, his face became even more distressed. Good. Juandi nodded heavily. Enua is going to preach now. Is the era of the saints about to begin. Enua is about to preach, and the others are probably not too far away either. The sky in the wilderness is about to change. Enua first testified, I don't know what other people's expressions are. Damn it, why doesn't this seat have the Hongmeng purple chi? If this seat has the Hongmeng purple chi, then it can also preach. A pair of eyes cast their gaze on the shore of the East China Sea, and the vast expanse was full of discussions. Some were happy, some were sad, some had a pale complexion, and some were furious. The entire expanse became turbulent due to Enua's preaching. Among them, Zhen Yuanzi in the Wuzhuang temple had a joyful expression on his face. You should know that his good friend also has a Hongmeng purple chi. Now that there is a testimony with Hongmeng purple chi, will his good friend still be too far away? Just as he was about to chat with Hong Yun, when he saw Hong Yun, who was sleepwalking in the sky and didn't know what he was thinking, Zhen Yuanzi's mouth twitched and a hint of weakness rose in his heart. Liao, who was in the midst of the vortex, was unaware that many great powers were paying attention to the shore of the East China Sea. At this moment, he was still curious as he watched Enua create humans. This is the mythological creation of the human race by Nuwa, and of course, Liao would not miss such a shocking event. As for the blood, well, every time Nuwa pinches someone, she will take out a drop of Liao's blood. What can Liao do? He is also very desperate. It's useless to protest on her own, and Nuwa definitely won't bird him. Also, can't we take the blood all at once? We have to come over and over again. If it weren't for her strength, Liao feels like she might have lost too much blood and died. Because Liao was by Nuwa's side and her relationship seemed unusual, many great powers squinted their eyes and a similar thought almost appeared in their minds. Who is this son? Liao, who had already officially appeared in the eyes of the great power in the wilderness for the first time, was not clear about it. After seeing Nuwa pinching hundreds of humans, Liao stopped for a moment and asked tentatively, "Sister Fairy, do you think this is too slow in efficiency?" Chapter 4. The Holy Father's Understanding. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Nuwa nodded. Perhaps it was because Liao had helped her a lot, or perhaps it was because she was more compatible with Liao, so Nuwa did not hide it. I think you can be more efficient, fairy sister, by creating in batches. Liao. Efficiency. Batch. What does it mean? Nuwa is so curious. Forget that this is not Earth anymore. He doesn't know how to explain these two words. Liao has some toothache. Efficiency is. Batch size is. Liao's mind was spinning wildly, and after putting in a lot of effort, he was able to explain it clearly to Nuwa. I see. Nuwa suddenly realized. In the original trajectory, it was originally Nuwa who thought of mass creation, so after Liao said it, Nuwa immediately understood what it meant. Waving her hand, a series of faint runes appeared in the void, a green light flashed, and a green willow branch slowly fell into Nuwa's hand. Looking at Liao, Nuwa smiled slightly, and then a large ball of blood flew out of Liao's body in his convulsive expression. Liao's face turned pale. Mad, if he comes again, he may really lose too much blood. Get out. With a light scolding, what Nuwa said seemed to follow her words. Drops of brilliant golden blood shot straight out of Nuwa's mouth, and the three light divine water rushing down from above the sky. The 9 heavenly land slowly solidified, and the water fell into the soil. Nuwa waved the willows in her hand, and 2 drops of blood, one golden and one red, gradually penetrated into each human-shaped clay sculpture. As the blood containing the breath of life penetrated, a large number of humans were created. About half a day later, after creating the 100,000 human race, Nuwa's face turned slightly pale and she stopped creating. Even Nuwa could not bear the high-intensity use of the law, but fortunately, the human race had already been created. Is this the human race? Sigh, I also witnessed the man Nuwa created humans. Liao swallowed his saliva and looked excitedly at the ignorant 100,000 human race. This is a scene from a mythological legend, and now he has witnessed it with his own eyes. Little one, what tribe do you think they should be called? Nuwa collected the willows, along with the 3 radiances divine water and 9 heavens, and looked at Liao. Nuwa asked. How about calling it a human race? Although she didn't understand why Nuwa asked herself, Liao tentatively spoke up. Okay, then it's called the human race. Nuwa nodded slightly. Liao. So, did he actually give the name of the human race? He created history. In the future, you will become the human race. Nuwa looked at the 100,000 human race with a cold expression and said slowly. The human race sees the Virgin Mary and the Father. The human race sees the Virgin Mary and the Father. The human race sees the Virgin Mary and the Father. The first group of 100,000 people all knelt down and shouted loudly. Human race, born. Get up now. Nuwa said indifferently, and after speaking, she looked at Liao. At the same time, the 100,000 human race also turned their gaze towards Liao. Liao. Ma Dan, he's under a lot of pressure like this. Also, what kind of ghost is the Holy Father? Does the human race have a Holy Father? Why hasn't he seen it in the novels of the wilderness? Hiss. Liao had a slight toothache, and indeed, he seemed to have changed something. However, does the Holy Father also seem very impressive? After all, the human race is the protagonist of heaven and earth. This Liao is effortless, and his name as the Holy Father of the human race is simply a fortress. It seems like he is once again a backer, so happy. Liao's mind came to mind the first sentence he would say when he saw someone else in the wilderness. Father of the human race, would you like to know more about it? Cough, get up. With a cough, Liao cleared out the chaotic thoughts in his mind and shouted. Thank you, Father. All the human race stood up. A new race has emerged in the wilderness, and Nuwa is also going to preach. The flood and wilderness experts who are paying attention to the situation here with their minds have a somewhat complex expression. They know, Nuwa will preach. I am Nuwa. Today, this palace has created a new race, a human race, in the midst of the wilderness. It is a lesson from heaven. The coast of the East China Sea is a place for the development of the human race. Within 10,000 years, no race is allowed to invade the human race in the vast wilderness within a radius of billions of miles on the coast of the East China Sea. Nuwa flew into the sky, her palace attire fluttering in the wind. Looking up at the sky, Nuwa's cherry lips slightly parted, and sweet yet majestic sounds like the sound of the great road echoed through the sky, echoing throughout the entire wilderness. Boom boom boom. The massive power of merit that was originally gathered in the void erupted with a loud bang, and the power of merit instantly fell towards Nuwa. It should be said that 70% of the massive power of merit fell onto Nuwa, and another 30% went straight to Liao. Add more rules. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before listing, the author's bacteria will be updated with a minimum of 4 sheets per day. If the author's bacteria meet the standard for updating, they will be updated. 10 rewards and 1 update, permanently valid before listing. 3,000 flowers plus 1 replacement, permanently valid before listing. 1,000 evaluation tickets plus 1 update, permanently valid before listing. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. The Body of Innate Merit and the Salted Fish System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz, buzz. As her merits entered her body, Nuwa emitted a brilliant golden light, like the power of heaven and earth, and even more like the Supreme Being. Her majestic aura bloomed on Nuwa's body. In an instant, the sky was full of golden lotus flowers, and endless golden lotus flowers emerged from all over the wilderness. Lotus petals condensed into the sky and fell, and purple energy soared into the sky, creating a sense of auspiciousness. Radiant rays of light condensed, and various visions condensed. In just an instant, the wilderness was already filled with endless visions. Province. Nuwa spit out 2 words, closed her eyes, and the Hongmeng purple energy in Nuwa's mind had already throbbed violently, sublimating to the extreme. In an instant, Nuwa's eyebrows emitted a noble and graceful purple light, and her authority continued to rise. Except for the strong ones among the quasi-saints such as Sanqing, all beings in the wilderness were crawling on the ground at this moment. Although Sanqing and others could barely resist, their faces were pale and their foreheads were covered in sweat. Congratulations to the sage Nuwa. Congratulations to the sage An Yuhua. Congratulations to the sage An Yuhua. A glimmer of enlightenment appeared in the hearts of all beings, and they all shouted in unison. As they finished speaking, the pressure that enveloped them dissipated like a tide. Congratulations, junior sister. A group of heavenly saints bowed slightly. The pressure dissipated, and Sanqing and others stood up straight. What about Li Ao? After 30% of the merit in creating people entered Li Ao's body, his consciousness immediately entered a mysterious state, leaving only faint golden lights emitting on the surface of Li Ao's body. However, Li Ao's body had already undergone earth-shattering changes. 30% of the merits of creating people, this. Who exactly is this son? What exactly did he do? He should have gained so much merit. What is the relationship between this son and this sage? Hong Wang Deneng looked at Li Ao with envy, jealousy, and hatred in their eyes. So many merits, all of them are so cheap to give to such a low-level life form. It's so frustrating. This little guy is lucky. An Yuhua, who had already proven to be a saint, slowly fell from the void and watched as Li Ao An Yuhua, who was in a strange state and emitting golden light all over her body, curved her mouth. After thinking for a moment, An Yuhua waved her hand and the two disappeared from their original position. Farewell to the Holy Father and the Virgin Mary. Farewell to the Holy Father and the Virgin Mary. Farewell to the Holy Father and the Virgin Mary. 100,000 people shouted in unison. Ding! The salted fish system is loading. Ding! The salted fish system is starting to bind. Ding! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding! The salted fish system has been successfully bound. I don't know how long it had been, but Li Ao, who was confused and disoriented, gradually regained consciousness. Immediately after, he heard mechanical sounds and slowly opened his eyes. What caught Li Ao's eye was a vast expanse of white. With a stunned expression, Li Ao got up from the ground and soon found himself surrounded by white. The sky was white, the ground was white, and everything he saw was snow-white, without any other substance. What is this place? Li Ao looked bewildered. Master, welcome to the system space. A mechanical sound sounded from above the sky. System. Wait, the salted fish system. Li Ao gradually recalled the sound he had just heard. Salted fish system. Does he also have a system? Although the name of this system sounds a bit low. Well, it didn't seem too surprising to encounter things like crossing time, and binding a system. Li Ao's mood quickly calmed down. Ding! Yes, Master, you are now in a conscious state within the system space. System channel. Are you saying you're called the salted fish system? What functions do you have? Li Ao said curiously. The systems of other people's homes are all air in seconds, and although the name of this low system may be a bit cliché, it should not be bad, right? As the owner can see by name, this system is a salted fish system. As long as the owner does something about salted fish, you can obtain salted fish points. The salted fish points can be used for lucky draws or to exchange for any item. System channel. For example, what kind of salted fish do you do? Li Ao. Fool around and wait to die. System channel. Li Ao. Does this really match the name? Yes, it's very salty. Although this system may seem very low-key and not like other people's systems, a smile appeared on Li Ao's face. Does this seem very suitable for oneself? Isn't he just a salted fish? With another salted fish system, it's perfect. By the way, why was I unconscious just now? Li Ao. Ding. Because you have been imbued with merit, with the help of the system, the power of merit has been integrated into your master's body. You now have an innate merit body, Master. System Channel. Chapter 6. Once the gaze is confirmed, it will be someone who cannot be provoked. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The body of innate merit. What is this? Liao said curiously. Ding. Simply put, you are a human form of merit. Whoever tries to harm you will lose your own merit. If you accumulate enough merit, whoever dares to attack you will be immediately punished by heaven. System Channel. Hiss. Upon hearing this, Liao took a cold breath. Worry, is his innate merit body so outstanding? This is a confirmed look, he will be someone that the powerful in the wilderness cannot afford to provoke. So, as long as I integrate enough merits and virtues, anyone who sees me will have to kneel down. Even if I don't have cultivation, the sage can't do anything about me. Liao. Ding. Yes, Master, you are a body of innate merit. Unlike accumulating merit to form a merit phelan, you are a humanoid merit phelan. If it is not good for you, it will be disrespectful to heaven and earth, and you will be punished by heaven. At the same time, because you are a body of innate merit, heaven and earth will give birth to you. Unless heaven and earth are destroyed, you can live forever without external influence. System Channel. 666, I will call you in the system. Liao's face showed a joyful expression. This means that I am a low-end version of the sage, and as long as I accumulate enough merits, the sage dare not take action. So, it seems that I will become the most flawed existence in the wilderness. This is great. It fits his salted fish personality very well. There must be no such thing as cultivation. Without cultivation, one can still live forever. Without cultivation, people dare not physically beat him. If that's the case, then why not cultivate yourself? You're welcome, Master. The salted fish system is designed to cultivate the strongest salted fish, and this is just a basic operation. System Channel. Ding. It has been detected that the owner has a beginner gift package that has not been claimed. Do you want to claim it? The system continues. Gift package. Claim it. Liao. Ding. Open the beginner's gift pack. Ding. Congratulations to the Master for obtaining the 33 heavenly creation devouring skill. Ding. Congratulations to the Master for obtaining the gate of the fixed plane. The 3 system prompts echoed continuously above the sky. As the system voice fell, it seemed to sense Liao's confusion. In a flash, a virtual projection appeared in front of Liao. 33 heavenly creatures devouring technique. Practicing this technique can devour everything in the world. As long as there is energy and the source of matter to devour, one can enhance their cultivation and reach a level where they can grow to an unimaginable level by eating and dying. Gate of fixed plane. The gate of plane that locates the 2 realms of earth and the wilderness, and can shuttle between the 2 realms. Eating can make you stronger, this technique is perfect. Liao licked his lips and looked at the introduction about the plane gate. A hint of doubt flashed in his eyes. But the system, what kind of ghost is the plane gate? That means I can still return to Earth. Ding. The plane where the Earth is located contains a huge secret, which is also related to your Master's immortality and even higher levels of enlightenment. Therefore, even if the Master travels through the wilderness, he cannot abandon the Earth. Therefore, he is giving the Master the gate of the plane. May I ask if the Master has started to charge the gate of the plane? The gate of the plane will absorb the power of space and time in the void on its own, and after charging, the Master can shuttle between the 2 realms. System Channel. Charge it up, charge it up. Liao casually said. Anyway, he's also lazy about going to Earth. He's so happy in the wilderness. Let's recharge first and then talk about it if he's interested in it in the future. Ding. Do you receive information on the 33 heavenly creatures devouring technique? System channel. Receive. Li Aodao. Ding. Starting to distribute cultivation information. In an instant, a majestic message squeezed into Li Ao's mind, and under the impact of this information flow, Li Ao fell into a magnificent coma again. I don't know how long it has been, but Li Ao slowly opened his eyes, and what came into view was a world full of bird songs and floral fragrance, as if it were a fairyland. If it weren't for the additional information about the 33 heavenly creatures devouring technique in his mind, Li Ao would have thought that his previous experiences were just a dream. Little one, are you awake? A crisp and pleasant voice sounded in his ear, and Li Ao instinctively looked over. I saw Nuwa sitting on a stone stool beside her drinking tea, with a stone table in front of her. There were various spiritual fruits on the table, and I, suspended in the void with my upper body still naked and numb, inexplicably feeling a sense of shame. As if seeing Li Ao's thoughts, Nuwa waved her hand in tears and laughter. Li Ao slowly fell to the ground, and a stream of light flashed. A white robe appeared on Li Ao's body. P.S. Thank you to the book friend, Expensive Plane, for their 10,000 VIP point reward support. Thank you to the book friend, God of Heaven Luo Fire, for their 10,000 VIP point reward support. Thank you to the book friend, Don't Worry About Reading More Books, for their 10,000 VIP point reward support. Thank you to the book friend, Single Gun Single Choice Female Dormitory, for their 2,000 VIP point reward support. The reward has accumulated to 4, and there will be an additional 1 for the next 6 author bacteria. Please ask for flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, and support. Chapter 7. From now on, you will be the younger brother of this palace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Come, sit down. Nuwa reached out a little, and a light flashed across from her, and a stone stool appeared. Okay. Although it was unclear what Nuwa was going to do, the salty fish's personality allowed Li Ao to settle for it as soon as he arrived, so he simply walked over and down. This little guy is quite good. Seeing Li Ao's movements, a hint of appreciation flashed in Nuwa's eyes. Not to mention after becoming a saint, even before becoming a saint, no one dared to be so casual in front of her. They were all respectful, and even more so after becoming a saint. This sudden sight of someone who was not afraid of herself still piqued Nuwa's interest. Of course, this premise is based on the fact that Nuwa already had a favorable impression of Li Ao, otherwise who would have dared to be so rude to Nuwa would have been killed long ago. What a fake saint she is. Thanks to you this time, our palace was able to attain the position of Hunyuan Saint. To be honest, any reward you want, as long as it is within our palace's ability range, can be given to you. Nuwa said lightly, her tone full of pride. However, as a saint of Nuwa, she is still the second saint in the wilderness and the only second saint at present. There are not many things that can make Nuwa in this world, and it is only Nuwa who humbly says that her abilities are limited. Fairy sister, I don't want any rewards. I just want to recognize you as my sister, is that okay? Without hesitation, Li Ao said, and after speaking, he eagerly looked at Nuwa. Li Ao did not forget his previous thoughts. The long legs of Nuwa were something that must be carried. This is a saint. Holding Nuwa's thigh and walking horizontally in the wilderness is safe. Who dares to provoke him? It doesn't exist. Sister, it's just the first step, the second step hiss, I can't think anymore, Ted is so exciting. Sister. Nuwa's expression froze for a moment. Thinking of a natural sense of closeness towards Li Ao, thinking of Li Ao's help in preaching and owing her such a great cause and effect, thinking of her no aversion to Li Ao, thinking okay, from now on, you will be the younger brother of this palace, the sage of the heavenly way, and the younger brother of Nuwa. Nuwa's face turned straight and she slowly stood up, saying word by word. Boom boom boom. In the sky, loud noises echoed and thunderbolts flashed past. A mysterious feeling swept across the entire wasteland. In an instant, all living beings in the wasteland had a clear understanding, and the wasteland's great power opened its mouth wide, with a look of shock on its face. Brother. The sage actually recognized his younger brother. Hiss, what exactly is the origin of that low-level life form? Oh my god, the sage's brother, this thigh. The great powers of the Honghuang were all stunned, and even the Honghuang masters at the quasi-holy level couldn't help but feel some envy, jealousy, and hatred at this moment. After all, this is the younger brother of a saint, and there is a saint who can be relied on directly. In the past life of Liao, there was no need to pay attention to anything when speaking in the wilderness. In the wilderness, especially for the strong, what they said could even affect many situations in the wilderness. As a saint of the heavenly way, Nyuwa was the first saint to prove the way in the wilderness besides the Taoist ancestor. Her words would have even more serious consequences. When Nyuwa said that Liao was her younger brother, her luck had already been connected to Liao, and both prospered and suffered. All the strong in the wilderness also understood. In the days after Liao officially became Nyuwa's younger brother, the relationship between Liao and Nyuwa was growing. After all, Liao came from a technologically advanced world, and he had some experience in how to make girls like him. Well, although Liao had no girlfriend. After getting familiar with Nyuwa, Liao finally learned a shocking news that there was no Fushi in this world. What? Liao. So, Nyuwa doesn't have a brother. His Liao had a toothache at that time. I was also stunned. What operation is this? It's completely different from the wilderness he knows. So the question is, what will the future emperor do? What about the Zhou Tian Star Do formation in the Demon Clan Heavenly Court? Okay, as a salted fish, Liao just thought about it for a moment and immediately forgot about it. Why do you think so much? Just eat and wait for death every day, perfect. On this day, Liao lay on a cloud bed, lazily basking in the sun with his eyes closed, in a grassland shrouded in immortal aura and exotic beasts dancing. Where did the cloud bed come from? When she found out that Liao wanted a cloud bed, as a beloved demon, Nyuwa went straight to the outer sky to find a cloud and made a cloud bed for Liao. Don't underestimate this cloud bed, although it's just a bed, it has also reached the level of a spiritual treasure after tomorrow, as can be seen. This made Liao feel very fortunate to have recognized Nyuwa as his sister. This kind of sister is something that a fool wouldn't recognize. As for this place, it is a small world in Buzhou Mountain, which was previously opened up by Nyuwa as her own dojo. According to Nyuwa, she plans to stabilize her cultivation and then go to chaos to open up her world. Chapter 8. I really can become strong by eating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Liao. A coquettish voice rang out, and Liao rubbed his eyes and sat up with a yawn. Wow, beautiful and lovely fairy sister, why did you come? Seeing Nyuwa sitting on the swing not far away staring at her, Liao immediately flattered her with a bunch of flattery. After saying this, Liao jumped off the cloud bed and walked towards Nyuwa with a flurry of flattery. What, how did the swing come from? Of course, that was what Liao told Nyuwa, and Nyuwa thought it was interesting and then made it. It was also a spiritual treasure from the day after tomorrow. Recently, Nyuwa likes to sit on it and swing around when she has nothing to do. I know how to flatter all day long. Nyuwa gave Liao a displeased look. That's not right. I can tell from my sister's heart and earth. Every word I say is true, without any lies. In my heart, sister, you are the most beautiful and lovely. Liao chuckled and said. Silly. A blush rose on Nyuwa's cheek and she said angrily. Even if she is a saint, which girl doesn't like others to praise her, and Nyuwa is no exception. Hearing Li Ao praise her like this, Nyuwa may seem insignificant on the surface, but she is actually happy in her heart. Gudong. Seeing the charm of Nyuwa's gaze and her expression, even though she had seen it many times, Li Ao still couldn't resist and swallowed. Fortunately, Nyuwa was filled with joy and didn't notice it, so he didn't notice it. We must be closer. Li Ao thought to himself. Everyone has come to the wilderness, how can we let go of the top goddess of the wilderness? He is a salted fish, but salted fish also have dreams, and they want someone to help warm their bed. Of course, if Nyuwa knew Li Ao's thoughts, her nose would definitely be crooked in anger. I treated you like a younger brother, but you ended up getting into me. What? Nyuwa. Meow, meow, meow. Li Ao, you've been salting fish all day. Don't you know that strength is the most important thing in the wilderness? Why don't you practice? Sister can protect you for a while, but she can't protect you for a lifetime. Thinking of her purpose of coming over, Nyuwa's face turned pale as she looked at Li Ao, who was filled with resentment and said with anger. It goes without saying how Nyuwa knew the word salted fish. Li Ao kept talking all day. Originally, Nyuwa thought Li Ao was just joking, but his meowing Li Ao really didn't practice and was paddling all day. Sister, I have a strong talent. I just don't want to practice. If I want to practice, I can break through every minute. Li Ao patted his chest and confidently said. Haha. Nyuwa gave a slight smile. She believed in Li Ao's evil. If she had such a strong talent, would she be so weak? I'm afraid she's not a fool as a saint. Really, I can become stronger even when I eat. Li Ao. Then why don't you go to heaven? Nyuwa glanced at Li Ao and couldn't breathe well. Sister, you don't believe me. Li Ao had an injured expression on his face. Ma Dan, he can really become stronger just by eating, why don't he believe it? You're so angry. Wait a moment. As Nyuwa spoke, she closed her eyes. The next second, Nyuwa opened her eyes again, reached out to grab the void, withdrew her hand, and a spiritual fruit that looked a bit like an apple appeared in Nyuwa's hand. This is Lingsue fruit, which contains not much energy. Even if you eat it, you won't be overwhelmed by the inability to refine it. Come on, didn't you say you can become stronger by eating something? Take one and show it to our palace. Nyuwa threw the spiritual fruit to Li Ao and said angrily. As for the cultivation method, Nyuwa asked Li Ao a few days ago. She originally wanted to tailor a cultivation method for Li Ao, but with Nyuwa's cultivation level, it was easy to create a top-level cultivation method. Even the Luo Jin Xian would be tempted and even crazy, but would Li Ao agree? Of course not. He had the technique of salted fish and was foolish enough to choose something else that required hard work and cultivation, so Li Ao refused. Nyuwa had no choice but to give up on him. Okay, sister, you wait. Li Ao reluctantly took the spiritual fruit one bite at a time. He just wants to row the water every day as a salted fish to eat and die, insisting that he practice. What can Li Ao do? He is also very desperate. As Li Ao ate the spiritual fruit, his 33 heavenly creatures' devouring power began to work crazily. Dark waves surged out of Li Ao's body, and Nyuwa's expression froze slightly, then her eyes narrowed slightly to look at Li Ao with profound meaning. Her younger brother seems to have some extraordinary cultivation techniques, it seems that Li Ao has another adventure. Nyuwa thought to herself. My younger brother would not be unhappy about encountering Nyuwa, but rather very happy, feeling happy for Li Ao. Buzz, buzz. Within 3 seconds, waves of energy emanated from Li Ao. Originally, Li Ao absorbed spiritual energy in the wilderness to reach the early stage of refining and transforming qi. Through this spiritual fruit, Li Ao's strength directly reached the middle stage of refining and transforming qi. The Honghuang mortal level system includes refining essence and transforming qi and transforming spirit, refining spirit and returning to the void, and refining the void and combining the Tao. However, Li Ao's breakthrough did not stop. In a few seconds buzz. The breath reappeared, and the raging energy tide blew and danced Li Ao's clothes, breaking through Li Ao's strength once again. Refining and transforming qi in the later stage. A spiritual fruit, Li Ao directly broke through two small realms. Chapter 9. NUA's Good Feeling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. NUA. Mom sells batches. Is there really such an operation? Can his cat still break through by eating spiritual fruits? NUA was stunned, her face somewhat frozen. Sister, look, I've made a breakthrough. Li Ao chuckled and said. NUA. How could there be such a way of cultivation? NUA's mouth twitched and her face turned a bit black. I have gone to practice in this palace, you can do it yourself. With a cold snort, NUA, who couldn't hold back her face, waved away. Continue to bask in the sun. Li Ao stretched lazily. Ding. Congratulations to the master for completing the achievement of salted fish, reward 100 salted fish points. The sound of the salted fish system echoed in Li Ao's mind. Regarding this, Li Ao has become accustomed to ignoring the system's sound. In recent days, the system will reward him for every salty fish incident. Li Ao was initially surprised, but later became immune. Master, don't you just ask the system's lottery function and what specific items can be exchanged for? The system couldn't help but make a sound. Knock on you, it's a system, a super noisy system. Unexpectedly, Li Ao didn't even bother with it. Does his system lack face? Don't ask, lazy. Li Ao pursed his lips and lay back on the cloud bed to bask in the sun. It's impossible to draw a lottery, and it's also impossible to exchange things. It's so troublesome. It's great to bask in the sun and sleep in. There's also a saint sister on her lap, and she's having a wonderful time. System. Nima, is this master so lazy? The system is simply unbelievable. Hiss, although it seems to meet its system standards, why is it so angry? What? System. Sure, this is very salty fish. Ding. Congratulations to the master for completing the achievement of salted fish, reward 999 salted fish points. System channel. Li Ao, who had already fallen asleep in the sun, forgot about the system's prompt sound and didn't even have the idea to move it. System. 3 days later. After disappearing for 3 days, NUA reappeared in front of Li Ao, her face turning black. NUA stared at Li Ao with her hands crossed over her waist, accompanied by NUA's cute and adorable appearance, which not only lacked any deterrent power, but also made Li Ao feel a little bleeding from the sprouting. Looking at Li Ao Nua, whose eyes were slightly blurred, she weakly put down her hand. How could she have such a younger brother? You're so angry. Li Ao, you've been playing for 3 more days. There's so much food in this palace, why don't you eat any of it? Nua pointed to the piled-up mountains of natural resources and earth treasures on the side and gritted her teeth, saying. Since learning that Li Ao can become stronger by eating, Nua would send some natural materials and treasures to Li Ao every day. Although she didn't show up to save face herself, there were never fewer spiritual fruits. Moreover, the considerate Nua looked for low-level natural materials and treasures, fearing that Li Ao would not be able to refine them and burst her body. As a result, Li Ao became more powerful. He meowed out of the cloud bed no more than 3 times in 3 days, either lying down or sitting up. Tian Kai Di Bao didn't even glance at him, hissing and infuriating Nua's chest. Sister, can we not practice? Liao regained his senses and said with a bitter face. There is no cultivation for any kind of cultivation. With a support and sister, one's lifespan is limitless. There is no motivation for cultivation at all. It would be great to just wait for death and become a salted fish. No. Okay. Nuwa said word by word. Okay. Liao ran to the genius treasure pile and started eating. Since Liao discovered that the spiritual energy of the Honghuang could fill his stomach, he had never eaten anything again. According to Liao's words, it was because eating was tiring and lying down was comfortable. Anyway, he was not hungry, so he only ate the Honghuang spiritual fruit once. Not to mention, the heavenly and earthly treasures brought by Nuwa tasted good and sweet, so Liao accidentally ate a few more. Then, his strength accidentally reached the later stage of refining qi and transforming into a god. Separation. After touching his stomach, Liao let out a full burp. Nuwa. Ma Pai, even eating can make her stronger. Although she is a saint and has already gone crazy, why is she so envious? Alas, how come it has become stronger again? Liao sighed and looked bitter and bleak. He just wants to be a salted fish waiting to die, why do we have to make him stronger? Liao is very desperate, okay. Nuwa. Sigh, why do you owe me such a beating? You're so angry. Sister, I'm full now. Seeing that veins had already jumped out of his sister's forehead, Liao quickly withdrew his expression and said pleasantly. All the heavenly and earthly treasures have been placed in this ring by our palace. In the future, our palace will periodically check your ring space. If we find that the heavenly and earthly treasures inside have not decreased, you will understand the consequences. Nuwa waved her hand and a beam of light burst out from the pile of heavenly and earthly treasures. The light shrank and a ring flew towards Liao. When she saw Liao take the ring, Nuwa said. Liao. He doesn't even want to become stronger, can't he? Why did he just miss the ring? Liao was extremely frustrated. What consequences? Liao tentatively said. Regarding this, Nuwa smiled, although this smile made Liao's hair stand on end.